Now, last week I asked you to try to create a piece of artwork that responds to something you have strong feelings about. I merely want to help you find the best way to look within yourselves, the best key to your particular lock. And it looks like we have some really interesting work up here. Thanks. What can you tell us about your piece, Philip?
It's about the mutilator.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's a really great video game about a guy who kills people with a big hammer.
Oh, I thought maybe this was supposed to be your father. What can you tell us about this piece?
Enid.
Enid.
Well, it's, kind of a diary, I guess.
Colorful. Ah. I think that Philip and Enid can help us to see that there are many different ways we can express ourselves. We can do things like these cartoons that are amusing as a sort of a light entertainment, or we can do work that is more serious in scope and feeling and that deals with issues, emotional, spiritual, political, of great importance. Who is responsible for this?
I am.
Talk to us about it.
It's my response to the issue of a woman's right to choose. It's something I feel super strongly about.
Isn't this a wonderful piece, Clase? This definitely falls into that higher category of art I was speaking of earlier. Who is this, Enid?
It's supposed to be Don Knotts.
And what was your reason for choosing him as your subject?
I don't know, I just like Don Knotts.
Interesting. Well, what do we have here, Margaret?
It's a tampon in a teacup.
I can see that. Now, what can you tell us about it? First of all, what kind of sculpture is this?
It's a found object. That's where an artist takes an ordinary object and places it in artistic context, and thus it becomes art.
But what can you tell us about it in regard to your artistic intent?
Well, I guess I see the teacup as a symbol for womanhood, such as tea parties in the olden days. But instead of tea, I was trying to kind of confront people with this,
This shocking image of repressed femininity.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I think it's a really wonderful piece. And it illustrates perfectly what I was saying about not being afraid to use controversial imagery. Oh, well, this looks like the work of Philip.